All right, we're moving on to some Nikola Jokic stuff. And this made the NBA was warning us about Nikola Jokic, 6-man. Now, Ant-Man, very confident, saying, I mean, he's the best player I've ever seen, you know, next to me, the way he says that. But no, Jokic is definitely a better player than Ant.
Best game of my life, like, that I've been a part of. Nikola Jokic, bro. Oh my God, he might be the best basketball player I've ever seen, like, close up, like, besides myself.
That was Anthony Edwards on April 1st of this year. And no, it wasn't an April Fool's joke, although with the performance Nikola Jokic.
To be clear, Nikola Jokic, last year with the Timberwolves, they were getting beaten by the Timberwolves all season. They had one game that went into double overtime where Jokic had a 61-point triple-double, 10 rebounds, 10 assists that they should have won, but because of an inconsistent thing that Russell Westbrook did, it cost them the game by a point because of a foul. So they've been back and forth with the Timberwolves for the last 2 years now. And I believe a lot of it has to do with Jokic. The team is built to defend Jokic, but if Jokic had some more depth on the bench, he could handle the Timberwolves. They could legitimately beat them consistently, because this is my biggest gripe with Nuggets right now. They need to beat the Timberwolves consistently, not just once, not just twice, consistently, for me to sit there and say they're ready for another championship run. Timberwolves are their biggest kryptonite because they are built specifically to defend Jokic. That's just what they're built for.
It might as well have been, because after going off for a 60-point triple-double, Anthony Edwards said what was on his mind. Nikola Jokic is the best basketball player he has ever seen. Aside from himself, of course. And can you blame him after some of the performances Nikola Jokic has had against the Minnesota Timberwolves? But the reason I'm making this video isn't because of what Anthony Edwards said a few months ago. It is because you are consistently hearing from NBA players, whether they are stars, superstars, or players that have to match up against Nikola Jokic, that he is the one player above all in the NBA that everyone fears.
It's not that they fear him, they just hate defending him. It's because he's so slow, but he throws off your pattern in the game with the way he plays. He can drive it, he can bump you down because he's bigger than you, and he's just consistently scoring. Now, Jokic can do everything well offensively, but I always wonder if they just get him a team where he doesn't have to stack assists, and he can be a primary scorer, what he would look like. Because we can see that Jokic can score anytime he wants. If he wants to score the ball, he's going to score the ball. There's no doubt in my mind about that. And when you went to double overtime against the Timberwolves and you had 61 points, 10 assists, 10 rebounds, come on, man. You're a monster.
The only series where we were kind of a little bit on the ropes was Denver. It's Jokic. I mean, the way they play, they've been there before. Even if we do everything right, they probably still have a chance.
That was Isaiah Hartenstein talking about how the Nuggets were the team that put the most fear in the OKC Thunder during this year's playoffs. Lou Dort said the same, and if you go back to last year's playoffs, Jason Tatum and Derek...
OKC struggled to defend Jokic because their bigs are very, very skinny guys. They don't even barely break 200 pounds. But Jokic is 6'11", 275. I mean, he's bumping them down all day. The only time they were effective against him was in the Game 7, where they tripled him anytime he was inside the rim. Anytime he was in the little box square, getting inside, and they always triple him. But, man, I'm telling you right now, everything with Jokic is just, it's pure art, what you're watching. Ooh, we smashed the goal. Thanks for the assist. Let me move my little avatar out and see what this says. I checked your video. Seems like you are new to Kick, not yet affiliated or verified. I got a proposal for you by sharing your stream to a Kick community for you to gain 1,000 active audience and earn nothing less than $1,000 while streaming. Add me on Discord if you're interested. No, thanks. I don't do any of those. I don't want to do those little pay you guys to boost me. I don't want boosts. Boosts are legitimate at building a channel, and I have learned that the hard way. That's why I'm doing this now. Boosts don't help. They don't. All they do is bring in people that aren't actually there to enjoy your content. I want people that's actually interested in what it is that I'm doing. And if it takes a few years again, then it'll take a few years again. I'll be slow about it till I get there. But back to Jokic. Jokic is quite literally my favorite player in the NBA. But his court vision is insane. His ability to see on the floor is insane. I mean, in every year his numbers just keep going up. I mean, if 29 points, 14 rebounds, and 10 assists is his peak, like if that's his true peak, I'm curious, what's he going to look like this following year with an actual team around him? Like, how disgusting is his numbers going to look, and what their team record's going to be? I'm going to estimate they're going to be a 58 win team. OKC's going to fall a little bit between 60 and 58, and he'll probably win his 4th MVP. And this goes back to my thing. I think Luka will have an MVP style season, but the team's record won't reflect what he's doing because they just don't have, the Lakers don't have the initial talent pool to build around Luka right now because he's the future face of their franchise. They know this, and man, he looks good though. That's why I'm saying Luka's going to make a run for MVP because he looks good. He's lost a ton of weight. That's going to make him, personally, I think they'll make him faster. And a lot of people are speculating that Luka's weight loss is going to affect his game drastically and make it so he's not as good. I disagree because they said the same thing about Lamar Jackson with the Ravens in the NFL. Lamar Jackson put on a whole lot of muscle mass in the offseason. He bulked up and he came back and his game did not decrease. He won an MVP that year too. So, I mean, there's upsides and downsides to weight loss and weight gain. But for Lamar Jackson, it was an upside. And I think the same thing with Luka. His weight loss will be an upside, not a downside. Besides, he's going to be playing in the Euro tournament. He's going to get plenty of time to adjust to the new body.
White both said that once the Denver Nuggets were eliminated, they knew they were winning the NBA championship. And you know the reason for this. You know there is one very specific reason why teams look at the Denver Nuggets and see them as the biggest threat in the...
It's because Jokic's efficiency numbers. Every player that plays with Jokic improves their efficiency numbers through the roof by almost 10%, sometimes even 15%. Their field goal shooting goes up, their rebound shooting goes up, their three-point shooting goes up, their ability to make good plays goes up. And Jokic is one of only 3 players. He holds the player efficiency rating. Jordan has the number 1 player efficiency rating. Jokic holds 2 of the top 5 spots, I believe, at the player efficiency rating. Jokic has 2 of them. He's had 2 seasons, which were 2 of his MVP seasons, where he had the player efficiency rating. That's how crazy Jokic is. He held it twice.
The NBA playoffs. It's one big 7-foot race.
And we're being clear here. He's entering 30 years of age. He's entering the prime peak. Prime peak is 30, when your skill and the brain all link together, and you're gonna go. You're going to go. And they got a team around him this year. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Jokic is going to be a nightmare for teams this year. And they know it.
I'm telling you, it's not because of Michael Porter Jr. or Julian Strother. No offense to Julian Strother, he's actually quite good. I quite like it. But anyways, and as Isaiah Hartenstein mentioned, the thing about Jokic and the Nuggets is you can do everything right, but sometimes it just doesn't matter against Denver. And that's what...
And it also took 6 years for people to finally start looking at Jokic and realize he is a great player, an all-time great.
Makes Nikola Jokic so great, because if you look at the Thunder as a prime example, over the course of the entire season, there were 2 instances where someone scored 40 points against that historically good defense. Nikola Jokic did it twice. He did it both times in the playoffs in Oklahoma. Do you realize how incredible that is against a defense of that caliber with the kind of defense they were playing against him?
Defense only works if you got a guy who sizes up to the guy they're defending. Jokic is much heavier than these other guys that they got defending. That's why they had to triple him in Game 7.
And as Isaiah Hartenstein mentioned, you can do everything right, but sometimes Nikola Jokic decides he's going to hit a Sombor shuffle, step back three, 28.
They call it a Sombor shuffle. I didn't even know his shot had a name. I don't even think Jokic calls that shot anything. Everyone in the league's calling it the Sombor shuffle.
8 feet from the basket, and you are going to lose as a result. There's not much you can do defensively against that. Aside from Game 7, of course, when they decided Alex Caruso would tackle him off the ball every single possession, and they would triple team him without the ball in his hands. That actually worked out quite well. But now what's very exciting is this year, I don't think teams are going to get away with what they have done in the last 2 years.
No, because he has a team.
Minnesota and OKC both selling out in Game 7s, allowing every single other player on the team to try and beat them. Now, the Denver
Timberwolves made no moves in the offseason, so they've got the same old players, and there's no way the Nuggets are looking at the Timberwolves with what they got now and saying, oh, we can't win. No, they're going to win.
Nuggets have depth. Now, the Denver Nuggets have some shooting, and now Nikola Jokic actually has some legitimate help. And if you want any idea as to how excited these players are to play alongside someone like Nikola Jokic, this is what they said.
They can't, the players that play around Nikola don't get worse. They get better. They just improve. It's because fundamentally speaking, it's just the way Jokic plays the game. It may take a few games for them to get a rhythm, but they always find it within the 15th or 20th game, where that rhythm just starts clicking and the efficiency numbers start coming in.
What are you most excited about playing with Joker?
Oh,
Look at that smile.
honestly, but
Well, keep in mind, he was part of their first championship run with the Nuggets. And then Cam Johnson's about to experience it head on because Jokic is going to give him some looks and he's going to get a lot of three-point shots. I'm betting.
a big part of it is not having him no more.
I mean, you saw their face from the clip. You can't fake that level of enthusiasm.
Players were having interviews like this about Larry Bird back in the day. You don't have to play against him anymore because we're playing with him.
Yes, and they were smiling like this. And that is a result of learning you are going to be playing alongside the best player, the best playmaker in the world. And as Cam Johnson said, it's also great to not have to play against him. But the real bonus, the real benefit for Cam Johnson will be playing alongside Nikola Jokic, because we have seen it over the last several years that when you play with Nikola Jokic and you have the IQ and the skill set to put yourself in the best positions, you will succeed. Bruce Brown earned himself $40 million off of doing that, and now he is back in Denver on a minimum contract.
A good example of this is Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon has established himself as Jokic's go-to guy on the inside. Because Aaron Gordon it took him 2 years to figure it out, but he finally figured it out. Anytime Jokic goes inside, you have to watch two things. You have to watch Jokic, and you got to watch Aaron Gordon. Because as soon as Aaron Gordon runs and drives forward, you know that ball's going in for the rim, and he's going to dunk it.
To do it again, and I expect Tim Hardaway Jr. and Cam Johnson to also be elevated playing alongside.
Look at that pass, man.
I mean, the best example from last season has to be Russell Westbrook. Just look at these stats courtesy of Data Baller. And as you can see,
His scores, his assists, and his rebounds went down. But if you look at his overall percentages, increased across the board. Efficiency stats.
box score numbers might not be drastically different immediately, but when you look at the numbers, look at the difference in efficiency, and in particular, look at the difference in efficiency finishing at the rim. That is the advantage of a player like Russell Westbrook or Bruce Brown playing alongside him. The amount of free baskets you will get is unlike any other player you could hope to play alongside. Just look at the chemistry on this play with
Jokic, for normally, to average a triple-double, you have to be assist hunting. You're hunting for those assists. And while hunting for those assists, you hold the ball. You're holding it. Jokic is more off the ball statistically than anybody ever in the history of the league when it comes to averaging a triple-double. The way he plays the game is so efficient. He does things that someone who averages a triple-double shouldn't be doing. Most people average a triple-double either have a higher turnover rate or they're assist hunting and they got the ball in their hands more often. But Jokic doesn't. He plays off the ball a lot.
Russ giving the ball up to Jokic, cutting backdoor, and it's a perfect cut and pass for the layup. You hear players talk about it, but when you play with a guy like Nikola Jokic or a guy like Russell Westbrook, you are more willing to move off the ball and cut because you know if you do that, they will find you. Or this time, Russ gives it up to Jokic. And watch here as Michael Porter Jr. brings Lauri Markkanen out of the paint, and then once the double goes to Jokic, he finds Russ cutting, and there's no shot blocker at the rim. Or later in the same game where we see Jokic get the ball in the post again, and again they went to double, this time with Sexton helping off Russ, and instead of waiting for the pass, he attacks the space, getting to the rim for the dunk. This is what is so uniquely special about playing with Nikola Jokic as well, is when you cut in those situations, so often the shot blocker is guarding him. So not only is there going to be free space, but often there won't be someone waiting at the rim that can block shots, even if someone does help over in time. So the amount of great shots you get at the rim is unbelievable. Christian Brown, Russell Westbrook, Bruce Brown, you name it, all of these players have thrived as a result. And if his impact on the floor isn't already great enough, this is what Isaiah Hartenstein said about him as a coach.
His IQ is off the charts. Even playing against him in the playoffs, it felt like he was coaching. He's like the coach on the court. I mean, he'll tell people where to go. He'll tell what kind of players what to do.
And we have seen this for several years. We have seen this on several occasions. We saw it happen in the playoffs against the Golden State Warriors when he called out what was going to happen before it happened, and it happened. Or how about in the regular season, my favorite example from against the Timberwolves this year, where he said to
Gonna go ahead and give my cats their food and take care of their water. Be right back. Earned. Boink. Click.
His teammates what was about to happen, and watch Rudy Gobert's head. He's not supposed to know what is happening in that instance, but he did, and the Nuggets ended up forcing the turnover. And just listen to the reaction from Rudy Gobert and Anthony Edwards talking after that game about the IQ of Nikola Jokic.
I'm sorry, y'all. Hey, I was just telling Mike how this motherfucker do to play with me, bro.
That was crazy.
Bro.
We have a style on the bed. Jokic knew to play, but we didn't say anything. He's pretty smart. He knew to play better than us.
These are just some of the reasons, without even looking at the stats, as to why Nikola Jokic is considered the player that you have to either avoid or beat to win an NBA championship. And don't just take it from me, the last two NBA champions have said the same thing, and well, the champion before that, figure out who that was. So now that Nikola Jokic has some help, I'm just excited to see how good the Denver Nuggets are going to be, and if teams can get as lucky as they did last year in avoiding him on the way to a championship.
It ain't gonna be easy, that's for certain. Hey there, everyone. If you enjoy this content, like and subscribe, and comment down below. Thanks again.